We are live on YouTube and Facebook, hopefully. I'm just going to double check here, people, to make sure there's nobody here. See here, it says Mike 0. That should be where we need to wait for people to come in. And hopefully they'll see us. And that will change. I'm just trying to see here. So hello, everyone. We're back from Ottawa. Still in zombie mode, which is really hard to get back from. And I'm just making sure that, oh, yes, we are. See?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so there we go. So this is Mike Rudd from the Rude Awakening.
Yes.
And Mike and I have met through Jean. Anyways, we met here on Six Nations territory, which was very interesting. And now we've got him wearing his PowerShift Revolution t-shirt. And, he was very instrumental in getting us to speak with James Top, as well as the guys from Vets for Freedom. So Mike's you've been on the road for how long now?
3.5 years, roughly.
Okay.
April 2019, I started driving.
Yeah, and we have there was a lawyer that I was trying to get a hold of, and anyways, actually, Mike has the same lawyer, and we were discussing issues, and I've given him some documents that we have on our website. So if you go to our website at thepowershift.ca, and you go to the rules of parliament, I still haven't fixed the website up to change the events. The event's still there, but you'll be able to go and see there's 6 documents in that one page. Okay, once you click on the info link, you'll be able to get those 6 documents, and you click on them, and then you hit download once the page opens up. You save them to your computer. But one very important one in there is the one from the World Health Organization that says they cannot supersede our human rights, okay, our international human rights. So that document there needs to be in the hands of every lawyer across Canada and every person, and as well as the other documents, because it tells us that yes, as long as we're practicing our political and civil rights, we have many more protections under there that people don't know about. One is political and opinion. Okay, so opinion is really huge in that. One that probably the judges would kind of say, no, not true. Like you can't put your personal opinion in there, in regards to your rights, because when it comes to war or pandemic or things like that, they'll outweigh your rights against the rights of the many. Okay, well, now the rights of the many in Canada have been subverted, and that's our political and civil rights, and those were neglected to be put in our Constitution under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, in our civil and political rights. They left out our collective rights to self-determination, and that's the one we initiated on Parliament Hill on July 30th, officially on the Hill. Yeah, so between the UK letter and pushing the UK for a constitutional correction, and doing that, now the government can't say it doesn't know. It does know, and now we continue with the international level and the United Nations rapporteurs to make sure that everything goes well, and that the Indigenous nations as well get educated on that, on what to do. But really, by rights, the Canadian government would have to help us be able to reach every Canadian citizen and all Indigenous peoples across Canada, to be recognized in our Constitution under our political and civil rights, which places us as the final decision makers in this country. It's the people that have the right to collective self-determination. We decide how things are going to be run in our country, not the government. However, the way the government has done this is they removed that right, but made us vote for them in elections, and said that's the only choice you get. Either become a political party leader, or be in a political party, or vote in the election. We have more rights than that.
Nice.
And that's the entire power, because our political and civil rights is our power. It's the people power. And it's important that everybody get together and understands that. And that's what we were trying the message we were delivering on Parliament Hill. And Mike here, with his your legal battles,
Yeah.
with you want to explain what your legal battle was with the injection?
So in April of 2019, they filed the lawsuit, a mass tort against the government for having us take a drug called mefloquine. So mefloquine was an anti-malaria drug, and actually in 1992, when we deployed to Somalia, Canadian soldiers were given mefloquine without signing consent, without not knowing that we were part of a trial, right, on this drug, and then only really found that out like in 2019, really,
Mm.
that we were part of a drug trial, if you would, and all the side effects from that. So, since April 8th, 2019, I've driven 340,000 kilometers from Newfoundland to Vancouver Island to Tuktoyaktuk, and all places kind of in between. So, talking about the drug we took, talking about the side effects, trying to get people, then at that, even up to now, to be on the lawsuit against the government for what they did to us. But in the meantime, seeing what's going on now and realizing, okay, something's not right, and slowly kind of shifted over towards the power shift.
Yeah.
Right?
So
that's where we are now.
Yeah, so we each found our lawyer, but then we found each other through all this.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice, and a lot of the information that we have, we can share with others as well.
Yeah.
So, and this is what we've been trying to do ever since, even before the convoy. On the rights of our non-derogation and all this. So the people need to push our international law rights, because, as I said on the Hill, is that these are non-derogation of our rights, even during pandemic or war.
Yeah.
So, and then we found that document from the World Health that stipulates that even they cannot override our international human rights. And your body, your choice. They can't force you. So I was reading that to what the hell's your name again? Mike.
Yeah.
I'm still asleep.
I like to change it every once in a while. So,
Well, oh yeah, okay.
so it's hard for me to keep track.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm brain dead, people. But no, I got to try and make you laugh a little bit so that it's not so serious.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is very serious, and it's time that we take action. So, by us being in Ottawa, it really didn't go the way that it was supposed to. Like, I'll tell you, oh my God. However, we had a huge win. And that was the fact that for 2 weeks, well, almost 3 weeks, I'd been fighting, to make sure that the city police understands, and the city mayor and the councillors and the RCMP and the people in Ottawa understand that we didn't need to have Ottawa look like a war zone and to have cops dressed up in, SWAT teams coming out everywhere or whatnot. So, I started sending them all of our documents and say, hey, these are our rights. We'll respect yours, but you need to respect ours. And when we got to Ottawa, no blockades. Everything was quiet. It was like Ottawa back to normal from when I was there in 2015, except it was even more relaxed, which really had me confused, because in 2015, okay, Ottawa always had snipers on top of Parliament. And we'd be able to see them and everything. And, I used to be able to I'd bring a tent so that we can be in the shade and do our things from there. So, but this time around, it was like, oh, we had to rent a tent from another organization, a private corporation, which charged us an arm and a leg for this. But anyways, you're going to hear about that, and that's going to be an issue in regards to what we're doing. But at the same time, we're able to actually initiate on Parliament Hill. So the government can't say they don't know anymore. And the minute that we say we're going to do this, then we need to, bring in a lot of people. We didn't have very much people, but a lot of people were scared. And this is what I explained to the police. I don't know if we'll be 100 or 50,000 or I mean, 2,000, 10,000, 50,000, 4 million, or 100 people. We don't know what's going to happen. And sure enough, mind you, the people that we have as members across Canada came. We had people from PEI from all over the place, and I was like, oh my God, they drove all this way to
Yeah.
be there, and commemorating that occasion was fantastic. Mind you, it was really hot. We had beautiful weather, but it was windy. I looked like hell. We left in the morning, and then everybody kind of swarmed to me to
Yeah.
speak to me. I wasn't ready for that because I'm tech support people, and I was supposed to set up everything. I didn't even get a chance to do that, so everything went by the wayside. So we played it by ear. We got through it, and it was great. I mean, connecting one on one with people is a lot better,
Yeah.
and as you and I
Yeah. Yeah.
can
It's so
see,
much better, right?
yeah. So I mean, there's so much for live streaming. Yeah, it's good. Meeting, on Zoom or whatever, talking to people, but meeting you's face to face uh is nice. It's
Yeah.
it's wonderful. So that's why we had Mike here over today and decided to do a live stream. It took us a while to get started, but again, here it's like 41 with the humidity today, so we had to do it inside. I wanted to do it outside, and but at least we're here with you right now. I had used Zoom to do our first, our to get going, and as soon as I turned it on, we were ready to go on.
Yeah.
Zoom disconnected.
Yeah.
So now we're on our Restream IO, which is another program that I was using with Zoom. So bear with us. I don't know this program very well, but hopefully we'll get through it, and you can hear everything that we're saying. My mic is not blocked, or usually it
Yeah.
is. So, but anyways, with Mike's story, being forced medication, he knows firsthand what the military knows firsthand what happens when there's side effects,
Yeah.
and the damage that it does to our vets is not funny. I remember coming into this in 2008 from pharmaceutical market, doing pharmaceutical market research, and then talking with people. I had this one friend that I was talking to online, and she was one of the nurses that would give the medication,
Yeah.
the injections in the US for the US military. And she said, Nicole, she says, I can't tell them what's in there. Uh, and, they have no choice. They have to take it. And we've seen more young men end up as quadriplegics than you can imagine. And back then, that's when I got really pissed off. Like, I mean, I thought, okay, well, we're trying to save people. I have a hospital project that someday I'll tell you about, but and nursing homes. But we were trying to set out to save lives, and then I was noticing that no, they're destroying lives. They're using this as a business, and it was a big business. So I was glad to see that you have Paul as your lawyer.
Yeah.
I would have loved him as our lawyer, but he didn't know too much about what we were doing at the time. And most constitutional lawyers would say, "Oh no, that woman's crazy." Just like our lawyer Daniel said to Nicole, if you would have told me this 6 months ago, I said you're nuts.
Yeah.
And the more that he looked into it, the more he was convinced. Yeah. Well, hey, David Lametti said I'm right in front of 12 people. Let him sleep with that one. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to be on Parliament Hill. It was like, yeah, he was,
Mm-hmm.
got him good. I could say more
Yeah.
things, but I'm going to be nice because I can curse like a trucker, and even better than truckers. After all these years of seeing abuse from the government and corporations. So now we want to make sure that everybody understands what's been going on. That, and especially the vets have been through hell and back with all of these trials that they've been forced into without consent. And really, the whole point of my doing this is to make sure, like when we were in Ottawa, I want to make sure that the police, everybody that works for government, the military, as well as the RCMP, know that even though you signed a contract with them, or anybody who signs a contract with a corporation, The corporation has to uphold your human rights. Even if you sign that you will do what they say, and they say, oh, well, now we own you because we wrote this in the contract, and now you're bound by it. Well, corporations cannot override our human rights, your body, your choice.
And even the government over the WHO, right? You said.
Yep. Even the government can't do it. Neither can the WHO. Neither can public health. So we need your help, people, because we've got tons of lawsuits waiting to happen, but we can't do it on our own. So we're going to ask you to go to our website. When you donate to us, you donate confidentially, and nothing's going to happen to you. But as long as we maintain our that we're exercising our political and civil rights, we can discuss legal aspects. They can't excuse us of saying, "Oh, you're giving legal advice." No, we're discussing our strategy with all other Canadians under our political and civil rights. We have the right to discuss legal strategy. We have the right to discuss any types of strategy, not just legal. So, we want to make sure that everybody understood that when you sign a contract with the government or any corporation, if there's an abuse of your human rights in there, even if you signed it, you can go back and charge them with that. Because there's a law of the genetic non-discrimination, and I think it's time that we started bringing some court cases in regards to that. So we have a plan, but our plan can't begin unless you help us financially. First of all, it's the lawyers in the UK that we need to make sure that they're all set to be able to force the UK government to do our constitutional correction, placing the peoples as the official head of state with veto power. And I say veto power because it's the same thing as because we have final decision making authority. Our rights, we have the right to take back all of our natural resources. Okay? Whatever they've taken away from us, what happened in 1982 was a coup d'etat. Okay? It was theft. We're allowed to recollect. Okay? So even though the government likes to spend our money, it is our money. And that's why we have the last say. So, not the government. So that's why we were at Parliament Hill. We didn't have to ask them permission. We don't need to ask them permission for what we're doing. However, we do need to let the United Nations know, and they've been receiving a lot of my correspondence, and now the action has been done on Parliament Hill, and now we move forward with that again with the United Nations, and the government can't take it upon themselves to punish the people either. That's against the law. Okay, so that's why all of these documents are important for everybody to read. So on our website, you will have access to them at thepowershift.ca. So now, coming back to, we had our first segment, which was Parliament Hill. And I didn't even tell any of our crew this, but we're going to have a total recap and a strategy we're going to be discussing on Saturday, August 27th, and we're going to have the draw at the same time. We decided because we didn't sell enough tickets and stuff like that. It's not, the word hasn't spread all that much because of nobody really showing up and then everything kind of going haywire. We might as well keep selling tickets till the 27th. And we're going to stop the tickets, I think, at noon, and then, or 4 o'clock, I should say, and then we're going to have the raffle at 9 p.m. So on the 27th of August, we're going to have a webinar. Okay, so when you go to our event to purchase tickets, now instead of Parliament Hill, all the tickets you purchase for Parliament Hill will also go for that webinar. So if you already have tickets, you're going to get your password to attend the webinar. That's already your entry. Okay, so you don't have to repurchase tickets or give a donation to attend the webinar. So the way we fix that is that when you give a donation to support us, and what we did on Parliament Hill, and then the webinar, and all of our actions that we'd like to undertake financially, that gives you a chance to win one of the two. One of the wampum belts. One's the Truro wampum, the other is the friendship belt, and they're just gorgeous. I mean, showing them to you like that, you have to really see them up front. And when you look at them, so wow, So that commemorates July 30th, and activating our right to collective self-determination with the Indigenous nations as equal partners in our constitution. And this is what we want the UK to do. Because as far we didn't ask for an amendment, we asked for a constitutional correction because fraud was created against the people. And that came from Pierre Elliott Trudeau. Okay. And every other parliament after that, whether conservative, NDP, all of the political parties are guilty of taking away our rights, of not educating the people as to our rights. And now it's time for education. And this is where this webinar starts, is that full education. What we couldn't do on Parliament Hill, now we're going to do at that webinar. And we've got at least room for 500. And we'll be able to also show up to about 10,000 afterwards. So we're going to do this on the Saturday evening online from 7 to 10 p.m. And by that time, I should have enough lawyers there and very interesting show hosts. Now that I'm figuring out that, hey, I had to boot Zoom because Zoom kept causing me headaches.
Kept booting you.
Kept booting me, yeah. So, and apparently in China, well, Zoom boots, everybody that's politically against the government. So I figured, okay, well, maybe that's my problem. And sure enough, I tried to fix it yesterday, took all day up. I increased everything. I mean, I've got 35 gigs here in this little laptop. He could probably walk on its own out the door with all the power it has, but it can't handle Zoom. It just, so, but anyways, to come back to Mike, and like I said, Mike has a show. It's the Rude Awakening, and Mike, you could see Mike Rude, and then his friendly feline dog. What's her name again?
Spark.
Yeah. Oh, she's just gorgeous, and she won't let him out of her sight. Like, I mean, really, and it's nice to see that, because I kept saying, I would rather live with animals than humans any day. From what I've seen in the last couple of years, like the attitudes and everything else. And everybody is tired. Right now, everybody just wants to have fun. So it's understandable that not that many came to Ottawa. But again, at the same time, we didn't know what to expect in Ottawa. But everything went great. We won a huge, huge battle in the sense that, hey, no military gear, no blockades. The only blockades that you'll see online when you Google, it's all construction people. Okay, don't let that intimidate you. And the city needs to be reminded all the time that we have rights too, and that the city of Ottawa is owned by all Canadians and the Indigenous peoples together as equal shareholders, co-owners of Canada. So, they can't say, no, we don't want nobody else. A Canadian's a Canadian right across Canada. Okay? And that's why we should not have different things in different provinces, different laws. And they only did that to maintain the lies. Okay, to make you believe that you only had rights in your provinces and that separation, and then the Queen and all this. Well, hey, the Queen is still the Queen of the UK. And the reason why she's still here is because, she has no powers. But the Canadian government in our constitution, like, let's say, brought back, they didn't fulfill their requirements, but they still went ahead with the rights that it provided, which was final decision-making authority over the people. Well, now that final decision-making authority needs to come back to the people, and we need to make sure that it does happen. We're saying that we're taking back our power. They cannot refuse us, but you need to participate. So we've done everything. I keep saying we've done everything possible. We come up with something else. But now that, there's absolutely nothing else we can do other than participate in the legal actions, and to now bring the people to par with signing their confession of consent, with everybody 15 and up to sign it. That's the one. That's the baby there. That's the clincher. And that is an agreement between the citizens, and it's not the government's business. It's not the court's business. Even if I had 50 errors in there, it doesn't matter. It is a living document. Okay? As long as everybody agrees to sign this and what it says, for us to collectively participate in initiating our collective self-determination self-governance along with every other Canadian, and respecting the Indigenous peoples and their treaties. You know, in order to be able to decolonize properly at the international level, where all peoples are included, well, it's 50-50. For with us and the Indigenous nations in our constitution. So this is why we needed to create a partnership and to bind that. And we've done that with the C.P.U, with Barb Garlow, who is a Haudenosaunee Yuga and a faith keeper, to bring about, some of the traditions of the Great Law and how it was the people, the voice of the people. So the Great Law is basically the only living constitution on this planet that actually had the voice of the people. So now we're bringing that back into our constitution by us partnering up together with the Haudenosaunee and the two-row wampum, and respecting all other treaties, and working together hand in hand, as well as all the other nations also have to join in as one on their side, and then we have the Canadian citizens on the other side of the two-row. And that's why it was important for you to listen to those videos when I speak about them, okay? And Rhonda's made a ton of videos for you on our YouTube channel, and you can get them on Rumble as well. And we're also on Odyssey, so you can see those videos and get some education. So now I'm going to give it, I've spoken enough to give you at least an update of what we've done, and to let you know that you don't need to rebuy new tickets. For if you've already bought tickets online under Eventbrite, that still counts for your entry to the webinar. Okay, you don't need to rebuy more. If you want to rebuy more, go ahead, but I mean, it's not necessary. All the other people who want to join in and buy the new these tickets, it's still part of the same thing. So it is the webinar is accessible with a donation. You give what you want, give what you can, and that all goes to help us to pay for our legal fees and to start it. So when people say, well, when's this going to get done? It's going to get done as fast as the people get together and help us financially to hire lawyers and to do other things that needs to be done to move this forward. And there's not only one court case, there's many. So if you want this to get done, everybody has to sacrifice.
Start getting involved, right?
You got to get involved. I mean, we can't do it on our own. You need to get involved. And it's going to be, it'll, win or lose, it depends on the people. But it's so easy that if the people get on board, we already have those rights. We already have everything. It's just about you standing up and helping us financially to bring this forward. So everything's on our website. You can give a donation there. You can buy tickets for the webinar. I mean, not buy tickets, but get tickets through a donation. So what we do is with the tickets, we have rolls of tickets that we give out. So when you get a ticket on Instabright, no. Anyway, I'm so freaking tired I can't even remember the name. So when you go there, you get a number. We're going to take the last 5 numbers, put that on each little ticket that we break up. And if you've given $20, then you get 4 tickets. If you've given $40, then you'll get 8 tickets with all that one number. And then we're going to be able to find your name and phone number and everything to be able to reach you. But we're going to be raffling it live in the webinar.
Nice.
Okay. So anyways, we're going to put Dennis to work and everybody else, marking everybody's ticket numbers on there. But it was the easiest way to do that. Otherwise, we'd have lots of big papers to print for everybody's information, put that in the big bag. I don't know. Then I said, well, let's do this easier, an easier way. So we found that as well. So we're all about finding solutions. If there's a problem, just find a solution and bring it forward. Yeah. But doing nothing gets us nothing.
Yeah.
So now the vets and everybody who's participated in illegal trials need our help. We can help them by doing what we do, which is getting our final decision-making authority above government. And by doing that, everybody else will have a chance to, make sure that we have a candidate we want.
Yeah.
And to iron out all of these problems. Okay, so dare to dream to a better way forward, and that begins with the two-row constitution, with the two-row wampum treaty, and having that embedded, like Canadians and Indigenous nations as equal partners in our constitution. So we begin with that, and then we're going to be able to clean everything out. So everything that the people were lied to or done to, now we should be able to move forward and enforce that we get access to our Crown Corporation, which is Canada Post, to reach everybody, let the information out, and the government's going to have to clean up its mess. We're not overthrowing government. All we're doing is forcing them to come to the people before they make their next decisions. So we have to move forward with the UN to make sure that the UN lets them know under any circumstances now that they need to come to the people before any major decision gets done.
Yeah.
Okay. And only you can help us uphold that. Okay. So anything else that you wanted to add?
No, every time I come see you, I learn more, right? And it's very important, and it's very important more people get involved, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that we have to spread the word and pass it on, right?
Yeah, exactly. And James, what James Top is doing right now, please, we're asking the nations from Eastern Canada to please follow James Top, to um, help educate the people, do the smudging and all this and the ceremonies when he comes in your territories would be fantastic. And this is what Jane was hoping would get done so that they can show the unity with the Indigenous nations. Because now is your time to shine, people, on both sides.
And I was just with James. I don't know, a week ago or 5 days ago, walking with him from Glovertown to Gander. Um, all his crew, all the people with him are beautiful people, right?
Yeah.
Loving and caring people that care about others and care about Canada. And for James, like a fellow, all fellow veterans, right? But right, an incredible man, and incredible people, right? And you have to at least come out and see him and feel what you feel when you're talking to him. Seeing some of the people that were talking to him on the side of the road, right? Like tears in their eyes, like there's so much heartfelt um, in between the
Emotion,
people
yeah.
coming to see him and him himself, right? And 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 they've only been doing it since February, right? They've only walked 4,300 plus whatever it is they've now done in Newfoundland, and
Mm-hmm.
who knows? I'm sure I'm going to be seeing him again,
Yeah.
probably in Nova Scotia, but that's where I might rejoin him. But please follow him. Please listen to what he has to say as well, right?
Yeah. And it's important, people, that you understand, that everybody understands that the vets have suffered a lot. Everybody in Canada is an equal shareholder, co-owner of the Crown of Canada. There's no reason for us to have people in the street, people with no support, mental, physical, you name it. We live in a country where we have an abundance of things, but we don't have an abundance of knowledge that was given to the people on purpose.
Yeah.
Now's your time to learn and to extend a hand. Excuse me. And if we can get together, even the military needs to understand they need to get on the side of the people, the police, everybody, because you are all shareholders, co-owners of the Crown of Canada. We can turn taxation into dividends if we put our minds to it and make sure everybody prospers. So the future, it's up to you. We only need you. And you know what? That convention, it's like magic. All you need is you, convention of consent, and the pen. And the pen is mightier than the sword. Yeah. So never mind how much you hate the government, maybe, and everything else. Focus on the end result here. People power, not just here in Canada, but worldwide, because everybody can do the same. Okay. So we're going to let you go with that. Awesome. Supper is, Dennis, Dennis is the new cook since we undertook this project because I don't have time to cook. So, anyways, the cook is waiting, and we want to thank everybody who came to Parliament, everybody who helped. I can't thank yous enough. People who came from across the country to see us was mind blowing, and I never expected for it to happen. Like, for that to happen, and it blew my mind. And so many seniors were coming to see us. Why? Because the seniors remember. The young kids don't know so much, but it's the seniors that remember what Canada is supposed to be. It's the seniors that know our rights. It's the seniors that know how to fix this.
Yeah.
You know, and so please, adopt a senior.
Nice.
You can't imagine what you're gonna find out. So, anyways, like I said, it was great on the Hill. Thank you for your support, but you need to keep supporting us. If you want your freedom, freedom is not free. Everybody has to make sacrifices. Doesn't matter, big or
Yeah.
small. We all need to make them, and we need to keep making them until we win this battle, because it is a battle of the minds. And I think that the Convention of Consent and the people signing it and saying, "Hey, yeah, I'm richer and more powerful than I know." Well, now I'm going to start exercising that right. And by you exercising your right and everybody else doing it, we can't do anything but win.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, hey,
Nice.
your country, your responsibility. Thank you. And we'll be back. I'll be back either later on or tomorrow with a more in-depth detail about what's happening, and also do it in French. Pour les Français, je vais revenir en français demain. Il fait assez chaud aujourd'hui là, c'est quasiment épouvantable, mais même l'air conditionné ne tient pas ici. So I was just saying that I'm going to be coming back tomorrow for the French. Even our air conditioning is not pulling its weight because of the excess heat. So, anyways, love you all. Thank you. And go to the PowerShift.ca. And, you can get your T-shirts, get your flags. It's the Power Shift to Freedom. And keep saying Power Shift, not freedom. Freedom will get you banned anywhere, anyways. Keep in mind the Power Shift.
Whatever.
Yeah, or the Power Shift to Freedom, but at least you're telling the government what you want.
Yeah.
And that's the people power. Bye-bye. Thank you very much. And thanks, Mike, for being here.
You're very welcome. I'm very happy to be here.
Thanks.
Thank you.